Hello my perfume loving friends, it's Jasper here again from top10fragrances.com, and you know what, I don't think I could have chosen a better day to do this review for this particular perfume. It's really quite cold outside, the sky is blue, the sun's shining, but there's lots of snow out there, so it's really quite freezing. And I've got a real winter warmer for you today. This is Serge Lutens Chergui. Have a little look at the bottle there and the label, very simple. And the colour of the perfume inside is very quite, well, it's quite dark, it's almost ambery looking. That's a 50ml bottle, that's the box it comes in. But they also do a 75ml bottle that they will personalise for you if you want them to. Eau de parfum, they don't do an eau de toilette in this particular line. So what is Chergui? What does Chergui mean? Well, Chergui is the name given to a particular wind that blows across the desert in Morocco once a year. It's a natural phenomenon that happens, and that wind actually carries the smell of the scorched and burnt bushes from the desert, fruit, twigs, herbs, spices, that sort of thing. And it actually smells quite warm, and it's a perfect name for this particular perfume. The brand itself, well, Serge Lutens was born in the 1940s in Lille in northern France. He quit school at the age of 14 with the aspirations to become an actor, which didn't quite work out for him. So he then became an apprentice hairdresser. And after doing this for 2 or 3 years, he started to get a bit of a name for himself because he created a specific look, Lutensian look as they call it. It was all about plastered down hair and heavy eye makeup, eyeshadow, using dark clothing and that sort of thing. And doing this, he got himself discovered by Vogue magazine, who then persuaded him to go and work in Paris in the fashion world. He got involved in fashion photography and started working with some fairly big named magazines and big named photographers. People like Richard Avedon, Bob Richardson, Irving Penn, and as I said, Vogue magazine. They don't get much bigger than that really, do they? He also made 2 short films that were shown at the Cannes Film Festival in the 1970s, so I don't know, maybe he was a better director than he was an actor. Yeah, it was in the 1980s he started working for Shiseido and produced his first perfume, and that's where he cut his teeth in the world of perfume. In 2000 he launched his own brand, L'Eau Serge Lutens, which did quite well for itself, and he received many a prestigious award, things like Fifi's. He was also made a commander of the Order of Arts and Letters, or Commandeur de l'Ordre des Arts et Lettres in French. So let's talk about how this little baby smells. And what I've done today is I've actually sprayed some on my hand. I did about 2 or 3 hours ago, because the difference between this as a freshly applied perfume and a perfume you've had on your skin for a few hours is absolutely incredible. I don't think I've smelt anything quite like this before. The one thing about this particular perfume that's different to most perfumes is the fact that it doesn't have any top notes. It's all about the heart and the base in this stuff. There's quite a lot of hay in this as well, which kind of takes the place of the top notes. Wow, there's a huge difference. So let's talk about the middle notes and the hay. You've got honey, iris, rose, and the hay. And the hay is quite big. It, as I said, takes the place of the top notes, and that's the first thing you'll notice about this perfume when you smell it, initially when it's applied. I can really smell that now. The base, well, it's quite a dark, kind of earthy base in this perfume. You're talking about musks, tobacco leaf, amber, which is how it looks in terms of colour, sandalwood, but there's a big incense hue to this perfume. And what happens is that when you initially apply the perfume, it's quite spicy. And after 2 or 3 hours, that spiciness kind of lowers itself down, and what happens is the perfume almost gets warmer. It becomes kind of fuzzy. It's really interesting how they do this, and I don't know how it all works, but it works really well. It's sweet but not sickly. It's spicy and dry, mysterious, very sexy, and I would actually call this an intelligent perfume because of the way it changes. It's so incredibly layered. Sort of perfume that if you sprayed it on your wrist, it's the sort of perfume you'd want to keep sniffing your wrist to try and work out why it's changing and how it's changing, but it really does change. The name of the nose for this particular perfume was Christopher Sheldrake, and he's getting a bit of a name for himself for doing contemporary perfumes. It was launched in 2005 as a unisex perfume. I wouldn't suggest that people who like really girly perfumes go for this, because I think it's a little bit too spicy for that, and a bit too mature as well. But Olfactory Family is spicy oriental. It's definitely a perfume for the kind of day it is today, i.e. an autumn or winter's day. It's a perfume for the cold. I think in the summer it would be a little bit overpowering. And talking about overpowering, you don't put a lot of this stuff on because it's quite strong. It's got a huge sillage, probably 2 to 3 meters, probably a little bit more than that actually. Longevity, well, you're talking a good 12 hours plus on this one. So when would I wear this particular stuff? Well, I think it's the sort of perfume you'd like to wear, or you would wear if you had a cozy night in by the fire, reading a good book, or going for a walk with my darling wife through the forest or something, crunching through the snow. It would be a perfect perfume for that. Price of this is not cheap, but you get what you pay for, I guess. And as I said, the sillage and longevity of this is incredibly good. So you're talking about 85 to 110 euros, which I guess equates to about 150 US dollars. And where do you buy it? Well, obviously Serge Lutens themselves direct. Our friends in France, Parfums NDP, supply this, I know, because I got a bottle from them. And in the United States, you're probably talking about people like Strawberry Net. So that's me and my winter warmer for this year, Serge Lutens Chergui. Go and get a bottle, guys, because it's absolutely wonderful, especially for this time of year. It will really warm the cockles of your heart. And I'll see you next week with our next review.